Hey everybody, welcome back. What should have been a pretty easy, straightforward rollout did not turn out that way. Obviously, I think a lot of people experienced the same thing I did, unable to kind of get this set up and running in either one or both of the two sims. I have figured everything out. It's really actually pretty straightforward. So we'll go through this real quick. So the real short story is here. We have to install the Nvidia app. We have to install the new driver, 572.16. We install the FrameGen mod if you haven't already done so. And of course, the FrameGen mod is only for RTX 20 and 30 series graphics cards. For RTX 40 and 50, you do not need the FrameGen mod. And then we're going to make a few changes in NVIDIA Profile Inspector for both Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 24, and then you're good to go. What's good here is that if you have everything set up from previous videos, if it's working, you don't have to do anything. Just stick with what you're doing. If you have it, like I did, set up and working in one sim but not the other, you don't have to undo anything. You can go through the process that I'm going to show you now over top of what you've already done without having to roll anything back that you've already done. All you have to do is follow this step by step, do this process, and you're good to go. So let's get started and I'll walk you through everything. As I mentioned before, we need to download and install the Nvidia app. So you download the app and save it to your PC and run the executable. I will put a link in the description where you can get the app. Okay, and there's one thing to be careful about when you install the Nvidia app. First of all, you're going to select your preferred driver. Obviously, we want the game ready driver, then you click next. And what you want to do here, make sure that optimize games and creative applications is unchecked. And what that does is, if you leave that checked and you continue with the installation of the app or continue with the setup of the app, what it's going to do is automatically optimize all of the games that it has found. So just unselect that, click next. Enable the NVIDIA overlay. I do suggest keeping that enabled because I actually use that quite a bit, and I'll show it to you. Actually, I have showed it to you in previous videos, but the overlay I think is pretty good, and that's fine to keep. And then just click done, and here we are in the app. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that we have the latest driver installed. That's 572.16. If you do not have it installed, just install it right here through the app. And there are some neat features of the app, specifically the one-click GPU overclock. Gives you a conservative overclock, and it also does not void your warranty, which is really nice. I've talked about this in previous videos. Other than that, we are done now in the Nvidia app. You can close the app and you don't have to use it anymore, but we do have to have the app in order to be able to complete the process that we're going to go through here now. The next thing we need to do is either install or update the FrameGen mod. Now this is of course for RTX graphics cards only. This is RTX 20 and 30 series. If you have an RTX 40 or 50 series graphics card, you can skip this part. You don't have to do this. So the files are now on GitHub. I'll put a link in the description where you can get them. You come here, you click on this link and download the files. Then you unzip the files. Wherever you've unzipped the files, go here into Disable NVIDIA Signature Checks. Double click on Disable NVIDIA Signature Checks. It's going to ask you if you want to make these changes to the registry, and the answer is yes. I've already done this, so I'm going to click no. Come back here. This is version 0.110. If you're coming from the previous version 0.100, what you need to do for store users, Microsoft Store users, take these two files and copy and paste them into your Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024 install folders. I'll show you where those are. Okay, you come here to C, Xbox Games, Microsoft Flight Simulator, Content. Take these two files, drag and drop them into this folder, and you're good to go. And then you want to go to C, Xbox Games, My Flight Sim 24 is named Limitless. No idea why. I think some other people have said theirs is named Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Whatever it is, double click there into your content folder. Once again, drag and drop these files in. If you already have those files from a previous version, you want to click replace the files in the destination. I already have them, so I'm just going to close out here. And now we have the FrameGen mod installed. For Microsoft Steam users, I will put a file location, a folder location in the description of the video. I will do my best to show you where you want to put these, but I am not a Steam user. So, and I also know that they tend to move the location of the Steam installation from time to time. So you may have a different Steam location, Steam installation location, but what you want to find the folders where your Flight Simulator 2024.exe file and where your Flight Simulator.exe file, you want to find where those two files are, and you want to copy and paste these two files into those folders. If you have any of the DLSSTweaks setups for the FrameGen mod, you do need to undo the DLSSTweaks mods, and that's really pretty simple. To undo the DLSSTweaks, you would just go into your install folder, which, as I showed you before, for store users is C, Xbox games, Microsoft Flight Simulator content. And then you would look for this file here, DLSSG_DLSSTweaks_wrapper. Remove that file if it's in there. This file will get replaced when you update with the new version 0.110, so you don't have to worry about moving that. If you see this DLSSTweaks config file in your Flight Sim install folder, remove that as well. And that should do it as far as removing DLSSTweaks. Just those two files should remove DLSSTweaks for you. Next up, we need the latest version of NVIDIA Profile Inspector. One thing to note about Profile Inspector, if you have an older version on your system, you don't have to uninstall it. You don't have to remove it. You just download and open and use this version. I'll put a link in the description where you can get this. Just click here on NVIDIA Profile Inspector.zip, download the file, save it, and then you want to extract that zip folder, and you're going to see these three files here. We need to go and get this file, the CustomSettingNames file, and I'll show you where to get that. You need to come to this page. I will put a link in the description where it is. Click here on download, save the file, and you want to save it to the folder where your NVIDIA Profile Inspector is. You don't need to do anything with it. It just has to be there. Now you open NVIDIA Profile Inspector, come up here to the top profiles and type in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is this one here. Flight Simulator 2024 is down here, and it's got the 2024. So let's start with Microsoft Flight Simulator. Click on that. Come down here to 5 common, and right here, DLSS 3.1.11 plus forced DLSS 3.1 preset letter. You want to click on that to highlight it, and then click on this drop down over here. You want to come all the way down to the bottom where it ends here, this 0x00FFFF, however many Fs. That's the one you want to select. So you select that. And now come down here under Other, and there's 2 settings. Well, there's 3. The first one is Enable DLSS FG Override. That's the FrameGen override. Do not touch that one. You want that one to say all zeros. The next one, the RR Override. Highlight that. Click on the drop down. Select 1. Come down here to the DLSS SR override, highlight that, come down here to the drop down, select the one ending in 1, then come up here and click Apply Changes. Now come back up to the profiles come down here to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and do the exact same thing. I'm going to come here to 5 common, this forced DLSS 3.1 preset letter. Click on it to highlight. Come here to the drop down, all the way down to the bottom with all the Fs. Select that. Now come down here under Other, DLSS FG override, leave it alone. DLSS RR override, you want to select 1. And DLSS SR override, you want to select 1. The only time that you want to select the Enable DLSS FG override is if you have either a 40 or a 50 series Nvidia graphics card. You do want to enable that frame gen override. For RTX 20 and 30 series users, leave that at 0. All you do is just highlight it again, same as the others. Select the one ending in 1 here and click Apply Changes. Close out. And we are now good to go. I'll take you real quick into both sims and show you that this is set up. When I show you this thing in the sims here in a second, you're going to see on the lower left-hand corner a display which tells you which DLSS preset and which DLSS version you're running. You get that by making a small registry edit. I will show you where to get that registry edit if you want to do it. And here we are in Flight Sim 2020 loaded into Princess Juliana. You can see on the lower left hand side, render preset K, V310.2.1 via the Nvidia App override. Now this process tricks the sim into thinking it's been done through the Nvidia app because we have the app installed. So we're all set here. Here we are in Flight Sim 24, same deal, render preset K, DLSS version 310.2.1 Nvidia app override. So we've got it set up and working in Flight Sim 2024 as well. So if you want to do that registry edit so you can see your DLSS preset, this is how you do it. I'll put a link in the description. Pretty easy to do. And now we're done. So everything should be set up. I'm generally not a big fan of Nvidia Profile Inspector, but this is just the easiest way to do it. I don't know if the app is going to make things easier going forward, if there are going to be sim updates going forward that will make this whole process easier. If you want to go through this process and do this because you haven't been able to get it to work, you don't have to undo anything you've already done. Simply go through this process. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments section below. I thank you guys for your patience. It took a little while to figure this out. I hope everybody enjoys the new features, and we will talk soon.